Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to my channel update for March 2019, where I go ahead and tell you, the viewer, what's been going on with the channel and give you information for my plans for the immediate future and take feedback. This is the #1 place where you can go ahead and drop me feedback for how I've been doing and what you'd like to see on the channel, and be sure that I at least see it, even if I don't get to respond to everybody. I've been trying very hard to respond to everybody who leaves me a message, but unfortunately, when things get busy and I got to decide between responding to everybody and trying to make more videos with what little time I have, I'm probably going to put the videos up there. But rest assured, I do read pretty much every comment, at least so far. I'm fortunate enough to have time to do that, at least. First of all, I'd like to thank all of my new subscribers and new viewers. Without you, the channel would not be possible. I'd also like to thank the patrons who have been helping fund this channel, and those who have given direct donations where appropriate. I can understand somebody's disinclination to use the Patreon system, and I will be covering that at the end of the video. But thank you guys. It has been a pleasure being able to bring the channel to the internet and the viewership who have bothered to watch me as long as I have been. I could not do it without you. First of all, let's go ahead and go over what happened last month. Last month, I got a little bit behind on two things. First of all, I got a little bit behind on reviews because reading a couple of the things I intended to review took me a little bit, a lot longer than I felt like it should have. However, I do have a slew of new reviews coming up. I've got Blueholm Journeyman Edition, which I've read through and I'm writing the review right now. I've got Heroes and Monsters, which is a black hack mini RPG, which I've got right here, which I'm still reading through to review. This was recommended to me by a viewer, and I'm grateful because it does follow the black hack system, but it consolidates pretty much everything you need to run an old school dungeon crawling style RPG in it. So that's good. I've also got a one that somebody's been asking me to review for a while called Can't Anyone Save the World, and I will be doing a review of that. I don't know if it's going to be the next one, but it might be the one after. We'll see. I'm still reading through that one. But yeah, those will be coming up in the next month. I also kind of fell behind on Let's Plays, although that one was for a different reason. I finished my Oblivion Let's Play, and those of you who watched me stream, because I did a public stream this month, and I want to do that more often now that I've actually got it set up that I can do it. Went ahead and finished that one, and it took me a little while to transition to a new series, and part of that is because I had originally intended to pick up my Planescape Torment Let's Play. And the problem is that while I have the original game, I do not have the enhanced edition, and I went back and I restored all my save games. I restored those about a month and a half ago, actually, so I've been able to pick that up at pretty much any time. But I went back to watch my old videos on it to see where I was in the game, because it's been like almost 2 years. In fact, I think it's been 2 years, the greater part of 2 years doing that. Since I did that, and I wasn't happy with how I was doing it. I am not sure how anybody could watch my current Let's Play of Planescape Torment, because it was done in a different format than I'm currently doing. It was doing it all through live streams, and that has its pluses and its minuses. I was really unhappy with how that was turning out. However, I can pick it up, or I can restart with the enhanced edition whenever I get to my next Let's Play. So let me know in the comments below if you would prefer that I pick up my Planescape Torment from where I left off, or whether you'd like to see me restart it with the enhanced edition. I can pick that up whenever the time comes. For now, though, however, I'm doing a Let's Play of Icewind Dale 2. Now, Icewind Dale 2 does not have an enhanced edition as of this recording. Apparently there's some trouble with getting the old material, but that's okay because I've got the original discs. I am using a version I downloaded off GOG a while back, and I have not updated it, but I'm presuming it's like the same thing, but I could just use my old discs either way. It's coming along pretty good. It is fun. I have installed one mod on it, and that is I've installed two mods, a widescreen mod and a user interface mod that makes it stretch across the widescreen rather than scale across the widescreen, which you can tell. I'm having fun with it. I have actually played the game before, but I have never got past like the first chapter and some change. So after I get out of Targos and a little bit beyond that, it's pretty much going to be brand new to me. So that's going to be interesting to see. So it's going to be a largely blind playthrough once I get through. I got asked whether I will be role-playing my characters. Icewind Dale series is more about the tactical combat, so I might role-play them when it's called for, but there's not a lot of instances where it's called for. A lot of it is just wandering around doing AD&D battles, or in this case D&D 3rd edition battles, which is just fine with me. I'm going to enjoy playing that one. Moving on from the Let's Plays, because that's where the Let's Plays are going this month. Oh, I will be trying to do 1 or 2 more public streams, but we'll see how those go. In terms of my Indie Game Fridays, I may have to review how I do those. My current status on Indie Game Fridays is that I don't cover things that don't have like a final release, or at least even if it's not a commercial release, at least if it's like a free one, they have to have said, okay, this is the final product. Even if they patch it later, it's complete and it's ready to go. There's no limitation on just how indie it is. If you got a developer that throws something good up on itch.io that they designed in like a weekend and it's good, I'll cover it if it catches my eye. Now the problem I'm hitting is that I take the bulk of them off of Steam. And so far Steam has had a lot of stuff in really early access and a lot of really poor quality games. And one of the secondary things on my general reviews, not just Indie Game Friday, is that I tend not to cover games that I wouldn't recommend. I may cover games that are not necessarily the greatest as long as I still think that they would be fun and I would recommend them. But generally speaking, I don't cover games that I would warn people to avoid, simply because a lot of times it's more efficient to let them sit in obscurity. I mean, even as small as my channel is, I would rather use what limited amount of coverage I can give to people on positive games and give positive feedback, rather than just sit there and go, oh man, this game, I can't recommend it to anyone. That having been said, has made it more and more difficult for me to find things for Indie Game Friday without delving into years back. You may have noticed that I'm starting to cover more games that have been out for years now, and that's going to continue in that direction. So my general question is, should I continue going in that direction and cover older games to fill in the gaps? Should I go in and change the format of Indie Game Friday so that I cover games that are in early access or whatever? Because right now, anything that's in early access or on Kickstarter, I toss into my First Look series, which I need to get more of those out. Or should I start covering games that I would not recommend? So let me know in the comments below on that, whether you would like to see me go in one of those directions. I'm pretty sure that I can continue for a while using old games, because there are a ton of good old indie games. But I feel like some of them, if they're good and they're old, they've already had a lot of coverage on. Yeah, but anyway, let me know what you think of on that one. In terms of next month's goals, I'm going to just try and concentrate on getting more tabletop stuff up. I realize that the majority of my views actually come from my tabletop series, my Tabletops and Taverns and stuff. I've been meaning to come back to that. I've said I'm going to meaning to come back from that since like last year. I'm going to be getting more tabletops stuff up. Maybe Tabletops and Taverns, but just a lot of more stuff up. And I don't just mean more Tomb of Annihilation playthrough. I'll still be doing that, but it's not going to be like the main driver of my tabletop stuff. I need to just basically buckle up and work through my slew of backlog, because I've got a bunch of reviews and commentary that I've got recorded and need to edit, or that I've got scripted and ready to record, or just like written down outlines of at least. So I've got a ton of projects I can do on the tabletop front. I just need to sit down and get into the swing of doing them. So that's my goal for next month. Finally, I do want to comment, going back to the Patreon thing and whatever, I do have a subscribe star account set up now. I haven't been able to link it to like the end page of my videos, although the new end page, the new end screen, I do have a commentary, like an announcement, where I'll tell you, I'm telling you about it in the announcements. You're probably going to hear it on this video too. I will actually update announcements as I have more announcements on those end screens. I know some people don't. I know the majority of people don't bother looking at them, but that way, if I've got any announcements, I'll toss it on an end screen, and that way it'll go up for a couple of videos. But for those of you who are uncomfortable using Patreon, I do have a subscribe star link now, and I am going to be working on like a direct PayPal link for those who want to go that way. and I'm not, every time I do this, it sounds like I'm begging for money. I'm not begging for money. I'm just putting it out there because I've been contacted by people saying, oh, I would love to support your channel, but, so I'm just offering updates on how to do that. Most of the money right now goes towards review material, and hopefully I will be getting more set updates soon. I was going to do it last year, and then life threw me a curveball in terms of workspace, but I may have some workspace being cleared up pretty soon to go, so I may actually get some sets. Can you imagine? Like a proper set without just books behind me. I mean, chances are good it's going to have bookshelves in the set, but there's going to be some variation there. Man, can you imagine that? Anyway, I will be working on doing that long term next year, so that's where that stuff's going to be going to. Anyway, I'm going to keep this brief. I'm going to leave it at that. That's what's been going on last month, and that's what my plans are for this next coming month. If you want to go ahead and look at the links below, I'll put links to the various sites involved. Oh, the other thing I got to do is figure out what to do with my website. I gotta figure out what to do with RPGcrawler.com. If you got any suggestions for that, let me know. As always, if you like what you've seen, leave a like, comment if you got any feedback, and this is where you want to comment to get all the feedback. And subscribe for more RPG content, both tabletop and computer. Until next time, take care and goodbye.